Hi there. The sea often presents unexpected surprises. The heroes in our story today couldn't have guessed that their sea fishing adventure would be so unpredictable. It all seemed normal and nothing unusual was happening, but in reality, things weren't quite as they appeared. Fishing without adventure almost never happens. Everyone knows this. So Canadians Cliff and Alan Russell and Mallory Harrigan were not surprised when they noticed a living creature on an ice floe drifting 4 miles from the Labrador coast. The waves turned the big iceberg so they could see what appeared to be a whale's tail involuntarily floating on top of the iceberg. After a brief discussion, they came to a logical conclusion that this was a seal cub, because the fact is that this animal is small and mottled, and that is what baby seals look like during the molt period, so this was quite reasonable. What else would be on the ice floe? But how did it come to rest on this iceberg? For an animal, this can be very dangerous. The fishermen decided to deploy their ship to save this unfortunate animal. As they were approaching the iceberg, the fishermen were surprised. Everything turned out to be much more serious than they expected. Resting on this strange iceberg was not a seal, but an Arctic fox. Most likely the fox came to the ice in search of food, but a piece of the ice broke away and the fox found itself in the middle of the sea. This kind of situation is far more dangerous for a fox than for a seal. The Arctic fox was doomed to an agonizing death due to starvation. Hungry ghouls were already circling the iceberg. The little fox is certainly very fortunate that a group of fishermen were nearby who were not too lazy to change their route to save it. But the frightened animal did not immediately realize that they were trying to help him. The Arctic fox did not want to go to the fishermen and refused to climb into the boat. They had to fight a little bit with the fox and even broke the ice to remove him from there. The fox surrendered only when it was completely exhausted and could no longer move. They captured him in a box, and the fox finally calmed down, and it became clear how weak he was. There were no wounds, but the exhausted look indicated that he had suffered a lot. Nobody knows how long the Arctic fox spent in the middle of the sea. He huddled in the corner of the box and sat there tired, frightened, and very wet. The fishermen wanted to help him, at least feed him. They gave him chips and crackers, but the Arctic fox did not eat anything. All he did for the first few hours after the rescue was sleep. After 6 hours, he finally came to himself. Then at last, they managed to feed the poor little fella some sausage. After having a good night's sleep and eating a hearty meal, the animal clearly felt better. It became obvious that the rescue was absolutely necessary, and you don't have to worry anymore. He will definitely survive. When the ship approached the shore, they released the fully rested Arctic fox and it returned to its natural habitat. The fox could certainly not say thanks to his rescuers, but the fisherman said he looked very grateful. After all, a simple act of kindness from these people saved his life. Mallory said that she and her friends often see him. Naturally, the fishermen never forget to grab their furry friend's favorite sausage. And this is how the story ended. This little fox was very fortunate that good people were close by. Maybe you've also managed to save an animal. Share your story in the comments and put like if you are happy that this little Arctic fox has remained intact and unharmed. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more.